based on my Japan Lean trip video recording experience at the Dojo training facility and many other wonderful presentations provided by Lean gurus, and also to improve the audio recording quality, I bought Saramonic SmartRing Plus mixer. You can see more details about this specific device in my other video. I added the link below. I'm using it daily. Unfortunately, it has no space left in my backpack for this new device. I need to carry the Saramonic SmartRing Plus mixer separately, which develops some inconvenience. To put all devices together would be the first reason for today's improvement. The second reason for today's improvement is when I use the video gear in the office or any other places I have to stay on schedule, and I have almost no time to set them up or to put them back in the backpack in time. I have to improve the setup time. In my improvement, I'm going to improve gear setup and packing processes. And I'm going to set up a goal for my improvement. The whole process should take less than a minute. Okay, what we're waiting for? It's time for the improvement. Today, I'm going to use Kaizen. What is Kaizen? Kaizen is a Japanese word, consists of the two words. First word is kai, means good, continue. The second word is zen, means wisdom, change, improvement. Kaizen, or continuous improvement, is a huge part of the Toyota production system, and it means a small, local, cheap improvement of processes aimed to eliminate waste and hard work. The critical part of any improvement is measurement. Not every improvement leads to the flow time reduction. Let's measure the time of the whole video gear setup process first. To save some time, I will play all test videos in a double speed. The total time of video gear setup is 1 minute 8 seconds. Where to start the improvement? At the dojo training, I learned to look at the individual operation. To do that, I'm going to split the whole setup process into the smaller actions. Now I split the total setup time based on these actions. Now I'm going to look for the action with the longest time. The longest 23-second time action is the mixture setup. As an improvement, I need to find its place in the foam with the other devices. How can I allocate all of those devices in a one small little piece of foam which fit in my backpack? So remember, we have two extra devices, the hard drive and Saramonic audio device, our audio mixer. What should I do? So unfortunately, I'm stuck. Doesn't matter what I tried, it doesn't fit. So I need here an advice. I recall the Paul Akers video where he gave the advice he got from one of the Lean master and who got it from Taiichi Ono. Let's take a look at that.
Some of the best advice I ever got when I was at a dojo in Japan. And one of the Lean masters, 40 years in the Toyota production system, said, the Taiichi Ono taught him the most important improvement is the easiest and the first improvement you can make. So you change your view, you change your perspective.
You change your view and you change your perspective. And that's exactly what I did. And I use Paul's advice literally and figuratively. I ask myself why I place the hard drive horizontally. What if I put it vertically? It should save some space. The foam is not as tall as the hard drive, but my backpack has extra vertical space. Only what I need is to add another foam on top. And I choose to add the white foam. By doing that, I achieve two things: increasing the foam height and creating visual control. Now the Saramonic mixture joined the rest of the gears in my backpack. Let's test the improvement. The test is done. The mixture setup time was reduced from 23 seconds to 14 seconds. I think it's a great achievement. The entire process setup was reduced from 1 minute 8 seconds to 55 seconds. And it means I achieved my goal, under 1 minute gear setup. But why should I stop? I use Kaizen, which means continuous improvement, and I will continue improving. Now is the longest operation is mic setup. Let's improve it. What I found is it is much easier to put the dead cat on the mic than the attached mic to the holder. I decided not to separate the mic from the holder when I place it into the backpack. I cut the particle form into foam to keep the mic and the holder together. Let's test mic improvement. The mic setup operation time was reduced from 17 to 15 seconds. While I work on this improvement, I come up with another mic improvement. The current mic setup is not the longest operation, but I would like to make another mic improvement. The foam is tall enough to keep the audio cable attached to the mic without any damage. As the next improvement, I keep the audio cable attached to the mic when I place it into the foam. Now, let's test this improvement. With new improvement, the mic setup operation time was reduced from 15 to 11 seconds. But what to improve next? Logically, I should continue to improve the mic setup operation, but I realized the mixture setup operation bugs me much more because I use tiny bolt to fix the mixture holder on the grip. I decided to try the quick release from a bike instead of the bolt. I made the quick release thread shorter to fit into the grip nut. Let's see if it's helped. The operation time remains the same, 9 seconds. Unfortunately, the quick release didn't help. But here's the excellent example of why it is essential to measure operation time before and after improvement. As we can see here, not every improvement leads to the time reduction. I'll keep going and improve the mixture setup time. I decided to redesign and create a better mixture holder. This time I printed it instead of using the aluminum strip. The new design consists of two parts. One ties to the grip and the second to the mixture. As for fixing mechanism, I used the magnet and piece of steel. After several different approaches, I was pleased with the result. The connection between two parts is reliable and secure. The Saramonic part adjoins to the mixture without any gaps, which eliminates any movement. No more screws or bolts. It's only one slide and one click. It is simple and easy to manage. Same design works for ready to use and transportation. switch between two is less than 2 seconds. The whole thing together is still very compact. But let's test it and measure it. The Saramonic setup time was reduced from 9 to 6 seconds. It's not bad improvement. You may say it is not much for so much hassle. True, but it has another benefit. It removes variation in the operation. I will explain it in my other video. Meantime, you can try to find flow variation in a different operation and let me know in your comments. Now, let's improve the attach the grip to the tripod operation. I use the same approach as for the mixture holder. I print two parts and use the magnet and piece of steel to connect them. Operation time was reduced from 8 to 1 second. It is an excellent achievement. The total setup process time was reduced from 1 minute 8 seconds to 25 seconds. I have to say it is way more than I expected. While I work on this improvement, I made another improvement, because it is never-ending story. I realized I spent too much time on setting my external hard drive. In the next video, I'll show you how to reduce setup time from 1 minute and 10 seconds to just a few seconds.